Hello Driver Radio fans, Richard Rush here today with Walt McLean behind the camera. And this is the review of the 2016 Nissan Titan XD. This is the Pro 4X model. For those of you that are familiar with our reviews, we actually first saw this Titan back at the Denver Auto Show. I believe it was last year, 2015, when they were coming out with the Cummins, or they were initially announced the Cummins. Earlier this year, we actually did have a chance to get in a Platinum Reserve model with that diesel Cummins in it, that new 5-liter diesel that they've come out with. This is actually, though, it's a good kind of contrast. This is their new and improved V8, gas model, of course, their Endurance V8 engine, which has 309 horsepower, 401 pound-foot of torque in it. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the gas engine. We went a lot through the nitty-gritty details of the diesel portion of it in the last review, so we're going to just kind of talk features. Real quick, for those of you not familiar with what Nissan has done with the new Titan and with the XD, this is a cross between your typical half-ton pickup and your full 3/4-ton pickup. It's not quite comparable to either or. So if you're going to blast us for that, or if you're going to tell people, oh yeah, no, it compares to my half-ton or it compares to my 3/4-ton, no, it's a blend between the two. It's not going to do things quite as well as the 3/4-ton. But it's going to do some things better. At the same time, it's not going to do things quite as well as a half-ton, but it's going to do some things better there. So we'll get into that as we get moving. So real quick, the reason it's technically a heavy-duty pickup is because it's over 8,500 gross vehicle weight ratio, so the GVWR. The Pro 4X model, and actually while we talk about the Pro 4X model, let's give them a walk around of the vehicle. So you can come around to the front. You'll notice, again, it has been redesigned along with the new engine options, has been redesigned for 2016. They give it a nice LED look in terms of the headlights, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So real quick, the Pro 4X, and we'll probably have to come around this other side, unfortunately, with the sun the way it is. We'll show you this in just one second as we come around to the side. But you get those darker 18-inch wheels with all-terrain tires, the off-road tuned Bilstein shocks, a lockable rear differential, LED headlights, a spray and bed liner, which we'll show you here in just a second. You also have, that comes with this vehicle, on this specific one, the Pro 4X utility and audio package for $1,100, which gives you front and rear sonar, utility track system, 110 volt outlet in the back. You also get the tie downs back here. There's also the Pro 4X convenience package for $3,300, which gives you leather seats with the unique Pro 4X stitching, 4-way power assist seats in the front, heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, a remote engine start, and then also the Pro 4X luxury package, which gives you the ventilated driver and passenger front seats, around view monitoring, which will show you on the interior, and then one of our personal favorite, the Titan box, which, for those of you familiar with other manufacturers, it's a very similar concept that they have gone to here. But this vehicle, base price $45,970. As this vehicle sits right here, $53,085. That it also includes an $1,195 destination charge on it. So $50,000 truck roughly. You're going to have to be the judge. There's going to be a lot of people that love this truck for that price tag, a lot of people that don't. But let's get into the nitty-gritty, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Only offered in the crew cab, only offered in the 6.5-foot bed, no other engine options, or no other, sorry, let me say that. 2 engine options available, no other configurations available in terms of the cab, no other bed configurations available. Just how Nissan has decided to do it. If you are wanting to wait for maybe the traditional half-ton Titan, you can wait for 2017. They are going to come out with that at that point in time. But Walt, let's kind of come around to the back here. We will show people the back and then the tail lights and kind of how that looks. We're also going to show people, again, it does have the lower or the soft close tailgate right here, which is a really nice feature. It does have this tailgate step, so let me see if I can get this right, push it down. So this is how Nissan has chosen to do this. Chevrolet has put the steps into the back. Ford has given you optional steps. Ram has not done anything. This is what Nissan has done. So you can step in here. You can see you do have a fifth wheel connections right here if you want it, along with the kind of the track system that we mentioned before with tie downs. You've got storage compartments right in here that you can pop off, store some tie downs and some other things there. Real quick, this is the Titan box system, and I'm gonna pull this off really quick. Not locked. So you open these up, and I'll just say it, Ram has come out with their Ram box, which is essentially the same thing, except it's brought it up into here. Now the downside to that is it's kind of exposed up top. You can still lock those. Maybe not a downside. So it's on both sides actually. I'm gonna lift up. What I'm actually pulling off is the cover for the locking mechanism that you can actually lock. But Nissan on their website and some with their press photos has put some cooler, some ice in here, so you could put some drinks, whatever you might want to do, some different tools. You do have the wheel well that does come up, so you lose a little bit space on the inside. Walt, I'm not sure if we're able to show the inside of these boxes. We can do our best. We apologize for the sunlight here. It's a little hard to get good lighting. But as you can see, again, this is part of that Pro 4X luxury package. And again, it's called the Titan box. So you can see you would have to be the judge if this is going to fit you and what you want to do. We can't tell you. I can tell you that it's a pretty good system. You can still get a nice 4x8 sheet of plywood here in the middle if needed. Obviously, you need to leave the tailgate down for that, but you can still do that without much of an issue. With the spray and bed liner, you can see they also do have the Titan kind of along the box right there. So overall, I think, and then let me step down here to kind of finish this portion. I think it's a good setup. It's a good system. Is it perfect by any means? No, everyone's gonna poke holes into it the way that they want to. But for the most part, I think it's a fairly good system. Again, easy lift, tailgate along with that. One thing I do want to show right here, Walt. Got the Titan embossed right here, kind of in the top of the tailgate, which is a nice feature, just a nice subtle feature, to be honest with you. Real quick, I did put that down. Want to show you. This is it's on a mechanism. It's not hydraulically powered. This step right here. So all you do to put it up is you literally just lift it up, and it's going to go right back in. You can see you got the rear view camera right there, or the backup camera. You do have your rear sonar. This does come with that around view monitoring system in it. While we're here, why don't we just we'll roll right into this back seat. One thing we do want to show you really quick is what Nissan has done for the back seat, and the camera should adjust, so we'll try to keep it out of the sunlight the best that we can. So again, the crew cab model, only way you can get this truck right here. So you can see you've got more than enough room. Walt was in the back seat. We're going to get his opinion here in just a second. Heated seats. You do have a power outlet right there. I'm going to hop in just a second. However, lift this seat up, locks into place, which is nice. You'll notice you've got this kind of mechanism right here. Well, what is this? Well, you'll notice there's no flat floor. So Nissan has put this nice little handy dandy things here so you can actually give yourself a flat floor. Also, not to mention, you do have the capability of storage underneath there. So quite a bit of different options that Nissan has given you in terms of storing different types of equipment, whatever you might need there. You just pull this button and fold that down. Grab handle right here. Hop up. This seat, as you can tell, set for myself and my dad, 5'9", 5'10" drivers. More than enough room. I've got dual pockets here in the back seat on both sides, driver and passenger. Again, more than enough room. I've easily got probably, I don't know, 6-7 inches. Walt, I think you probably had the same yesterday. You probably had a solid 6 inches. So Walt, 6'4". I'll be honest, he finds a lot of trucks that he can't get into even. And in this one, he's more than able to. Some nice door apportionments, nice soft touch materials. That leather material, part of the, make sure I get this right, part of the Pro 4X convenience package. Cup holders. This is just a quick side note. I think we counted yesterday 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, what did we say, 14 cup holders in here. If you wanted to utilize all of them, there's 2 in each door pocket. There's 2 right here, 2 up front in the main console, and then also 2 on the pull down. And as I mentioned, again, this heated seats back here. So with that being said, as you can kind of tell, it's a lot of different features on this vehicle. We're going to pause the video. We're going to go around to the front side. I'm going to show you the interior portion of it, and then we're going to take a quick drive in the 2016 Nissan Titan XD. All right, fans, here we are for the interior, front seat interior portion, I should say. 2016 Nissan Titan XD. Apologize for the wind. We'll get through this real quick and get Walt inside. Nice door apportionments there, as we always like to show you. Just kind of, again, a brief overview of the vehicle. As you see on the speaker down below, this is the Rockford Fosgate system, which is part of that Pro 4X utility and audio package. I believe it's a 12-speaker total system that they end up doing. As you come along through, you can see that Pro 4X stitching all throughout. Some nice soft, again, this is a nice soft touch leather-like material up top here. The dash is really nice. I like kind of the silver aluminum, brushed aluminum look that they've given. Really comfortable seats. They fit any body type really, really well. Again, come along, more of that stitching, and you can see again, right, the Pro 4X embossed, stitched and embossed right into the seat. So as we come along into the center console area, controls and everything are going to be typical of what you would find in a Nissan. Nice center console here. Lift this up. You've got storage right here, and then this goes fairly deep down into the bottom portion of the center console right there. One other thing to note, and this is really similar, I'll be honest, to what Chevy has done on their latest trucks, on their, well, at least on their 2014 when they redid their trucks, which is a pull-out cup thing, and you can actually use almost a secondary console right here that's got secondary storage. Walt, I'm not sure if you can kind of show them that, but you do have 3 more compartments right here that you can still access even with the cup holders in, but if you wanted to take those out, you had a bigger item, you could do so really, really easy. Let me get that in there. The heated and ventilated front seats we mentioned, integrated trailer brake controller right here, the heated steering wheel, blind spot monitoring on and off, your parking sonar, 4-wheel drive, standard on the Pro 4X only, optional of course on the other trim levels, but part of that Pro 4X a little bit more off-road centric, so that does come standard. One other last thing to note, right here you'll notice the shift selector, the gear selector, park, reverse, neutral, and drive is actually kind of more typical of what you would find in older trucks rather than the center gear selector right here. Something that Nissan's done, really open this up for this year, again, for the 2016 model year. So other than that, that's really about it. We'll show you this 7-inch touchscreen display when we get to the driving portion, which, speaking of which, why don't we head there? So we'll have Walt hop in the back and we'll go for a drive. 2016 Nissan Titan XD. All right, fans, driving portion, 2016 Nissan Titan XD. As we always like to do beforehand, want to show you some of the interior features a little bit better than we can on the outside. We mentioned before the integrated brake controller. The center stack is typically what you would find on a Nissan, or on a Nissan. The 7-inch touchscreen, Nissan, I will be honest with you there. Please update this. This is so far behind other manufacturers in terms of the, not necessarily the touchscreen itself, but in terms of the operating system behind it. So please, 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 if you're listening, we'd really like to see that changed and updated into maybe a bigger screen, and also maybe a little bit newer. You have that on some of your Infiniti cars. We'd like to see that kind of trickle down. Dual climate control that we mentioned right here. Again, some of the other heated steering wheel, blind spot monitoring, all of that. Again, everything else is fairly standard. We mentioned the tow selector is now up here. So with that, let's take a quick drive, Walt. Oh, real quick before I do that, I want to show you the, it does have a rear power middle mirror. And Walt, I'm not sure if you can actually show that or not. Sorry for the camera. We just want to show you this. But it does have the power sliding mirror for the back seat, which is nice in terms of airflow. Just a nice added feature that Nissan has given. So with that, we'll take a quick drive. As we always like to do want to show you not only the backup camera, but also the around view monitoring system that we mentioned earlier. You don't typically find that on a truck, but it's definitely a welcome feature, especially on a truck like this that's almost 20 feet in length. But again, you can see your sonar is going to tell you where you're at, so you could back up. You do have the dynamic grid lines on this vehicle right here. You can change the view to where you can see just the front right passenger if you're going to pull up to a curb. Gives you the ability to do that, or if you just wanted the backup camera, a wider view. But this tends to be the standard view of the overhead monitoring. It gives you all 4 sides of the vehicle. Really nice and handy, personally. I'm a fan of it. I think it works really well. And when you go into drive and you do go at slower speeds, it will give you a front camera as well. There was a little camera on the front half of the vehicle. So go for a quick drive. The biggest difference from this review to the last review we did, of course, is that new V8 Endurance V8 gas engine. 390 horsepower as compared to about 310, I believe, for the diesel. Actually, I know I'm gonna get destroyed on that, so I want to make sure that I know that. Yes, 310 on the diesel, 390, but 555 pounds-foot of torque on the diesel, 401 on this vehicle right here. Again, some of the safety features: the blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, front and rear parking sensors, and the rear view camera. A negative, I would say, on this vehicle: 54 feet, 53.9 technically, but 54 feet in terms of a turning radius. So not the best in terms of a turning radius. You feel like you are in a, honestly, a long bed truck. We've got quite a few of those in our fleet that we do operate. So as you come up here, acceleration works at this altitude. The V8 runs really, really well. There are no fuel economy numbers, and we'll pull over right here, for this vehicle, but we will tell you what we've been getting right now, just so you guys have an idea. But again, they don't have to, because they're the heavy duty. Let me get to it if I can. We've been able to average about 15 miles per gallon. So I would say 14 to 16 right in there, city and highway. Again, you are right kind of there, across between a light duty and a heavy duty truck. So definitely going to lose a little bit in terms of fuel economy. But what do we think of this vehicle? I'm not sure if you've been able to see it or not, but I think that this is a home run for Nissan. I think that this is going to be a big market for them. It already has been. Their sales have been excellent. I think that the diesel engine is going to get a lot more headlines, but this gas engine works really, really well for what it does. I apologize, I don't have any towing numbers for you for the gas. We did a little bit of that in the diesel, and I'll be honest, I would say this: depending upon how you configure this truck, so depending upon the trim level, whether you get the full-blown Platinum Reserve, a heavier truck, your towing is going to go down. I encourage you, get out and take a look at this vehicle. I can tell you this: it's going to tow more than your half tons. It's going to tow less than your 3/4 tons, but it's right in the sweet spot there, and that's what Nissan feels. We've talked to the manufacturer reps many, many times. They feel like this vehicle is going to fit that niche for if you want to take your camper up on the weekend, if you want to tow your boat, whatever it is. You want a little bit more oomph, but you don't need quite the oomph that a 3/4 ton has, but you also want to save a little bit of money, which you are going to do in terms of a similarly equipped 3/4 ton pickup. So in terms of who we recommend this for, I guess that we kind of weekend warriors. You wanted to go up on the weekend, tow a vehicle, or tow a, I don't know, tow a camper, a toy hauler, whatever it is. Put some jet skis in the, or not jet skis, but put some snowmobiles in the back, tow a boat, tow some jet skis, things like that. Definitely may be the vehicle for you. You're going to save a little bit of money, but still be more than equipped. And in terms of interior apportionments, I think for the value, this truck will definitely do that. So if you want to learn more about this vehicle, head to your local Nissan dealer, check it out, learn from it, get in this vehicle, get your family in this vehicle, see if it'll work for you. And if you do that, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.